Hello, everybody. How's it going? And today we're going to be talking about the 10 characters that I think benefit the most from getting your good speed sets. So we're excluding Galactic Legends, just to show Kylo here, because he does have my fastest overall mod set, plus 193 for 586 speed. I don't know if I can get him faster or not, but that's just the one that makes the most sense given the primaries I have. But these 10 characters I'm going to talk about are going to jumpstart their team in one way or another, or really get you in a good position. And a lot of this has to do with sometimes turn meter trains or debilitating, crippling the enemy team right off the gate. A lot of these characters, pretty much all these characters start out fast. You're just trying to make sure they're fastest and going before your opponents. So I am going to be doing them in rank order. So I'm going to go from number 10 all the way to number 1. So I hope you enjoy and hope you learn something. Number 10, we have Bossk, and this is a character I frequently look at when I'm doing roster reviews. The roster reviews is kind of what made me think to do this video, because I'm always looking and criticizing speed or just saying, oh, who do they have fastest? And I thought I should provide a guide of what I think good starting points are. So Bossk, you really do want him fast. As you see, I have a speed set and a defense set. I think that's best for his survivability and going first, because what you want to do, you want him to taunt, and that taunt is not really much of a sacrifice, because even though all it's really doing is taunt, he's getting frenzy, so if someone else on your team goes, he's going to go again. And for bounty hunters, they're not super durable except for Bossk. So Bossk is really getting out there and protecting his whole team. Even in the end game, this is important because when people are trying strategies like Fennec versus Lord Vader with Ball, and they have like an R9 boss, they need him to taunt to be able to take all of those huge hits. So it's not like he's going to do massive damage or anything. So he's more unique on this list in that he is just getting out there fast and getting a taunt up, because he's not a pre-taunt, but he's kind of close to it, especially if you're in the early game and you just have some good mods. You really want to give him protection sets. I talk about, or protection primaries. I talk about it all the time in roster reviews because of his leadership, giving extra defense while at full health. Giving him extra health doesn't matter too much, because as soon as he loses just a little bit of health, he loses a lot of defense. So get him out fast, protect the whole team. Number 10. Next up, we got Jedi Knight Revan, and he's coming in at number 9. Now, he's not the fastest at a base. His base speed is under 170. It looks like it's 168, I think. But still having him really fast is really helpful. One, he's also getting a lot of extra speed in his leadership. It's less than 3v3, more than 5v5, because it depends on how many characters you have out there. So he does get up extra speed, even though his base isn't the fastest. And you got a couple of options here with his team. You can direct focus the one enemy you want to control the most. Maybe you want to kill them the fastest. And there's a lot of options there for that. And you're going to do a lot of damage on them and mark them down, stun them with crystal cooldown, lots of stuff. Or you can go out, swap a turn to someone else that you want to take a turn, and maybe they're not the fastest. A common play is swapping turns with Bastila, and then she passes all her buffs to Grandmaster Yoda, and he's fully suited with buffs to hand out to the whole team. So those are great opening plays. I mean, he's not going to outrun Galactic Legends or anything, but most of the time when you're running a Jedi Knight Revan team, you really need him to be fast to get things going. And for the primaries, I think I don't have them the best. You mainly want survivability. Some offense can work, but speed is the main focus. And I have a protection circle, which I think is not good. I think you need a health primary, but I'm kind of low on those. But yeah, Jedi Knight Revan, number 9. Number 8, we got Dash Rendar, and I do have offense spawns on him, but they're pretty fast. So he's got a lot of good things about him that make you want to go first with him. One, he does a lot of damage. He does a triple hit, lots of debuffs. But the fact that it's triple hit in 5v5, 5 characters, that is 45 instances of damage. What am I saying? 15 instances of damage. But all your allies gain 2% turn meter. Prepared allies gain 2% turn meter whenever an ally scores a critical hit. So as many critical hits as he's getting, if they're all critical hits, you're going to give 30% turn meter to your team. He's not necessarily a turn meter trained team, but he does give the whole team prepared when you start. So if they are scoundrels, so you will be giving out that turn meter, and he's just really fast at a base. He is 190 base speed at Gear 13, so much faster than Jedi Knight Revan. Even though I have an offense set, I have him up to 342. This is a pretty good offense set for speed, mind you, but which is it's hard to replicate, especially if you're newer. But if you can give him offense while making him fast, I do recommend that. But if you can't, if you're early game, sometimes just going first, the damage is still going to be decent, even if you're not offense set up. And then you're going to get the rest of the team going, whoever they are. He's kind of flexible because Scoundrel is the most populous faction in the game. So yeah, Dash is great. Number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have Resistance Hero Finn, and he's, I would argue, more popular than ever right now, with combined with Zori and then the Lightspeed bundles. Everyone's got Relic Finns all over the place, and you got an amazing character that is now accelerated, making this team really good. So he's not like a massive turn meter train team type situation, but he does, if you can't get him to go first, you can pass the turn to someone else. And it's swap turns, so it's like Thrawn too. It's not just the passive turn. It's like Revan, it's very similar, but this is the dominant opening move. You want to swap turns, he gets inspired, and that inspiration gives counter chance, 100% counter chance to the whole team. So it's just a massive benefit. You're going to have someone else go. If they were fast enough too, he's going to get to go again, call a mass assist, heal everybody. So he's got a really strong kit for a while. He didn't have... It was underutilized just because there weren't the best teams. I mean, Galactic Legend Ray just overshadows him, and then on a JTR team, he was pretty good on that at the time. But then they had Ray come out, and then it's like, okay, Ray takes everything. So, but right now with Zori, he's just kind of a superstar, and you definitely want him, I'd argue, to be the fastest on the team. I don't know if I have the fastest, I might have Zori, because she has a pretty high base speed as well. I don't know if his base speed it's not as fast as like Dash, but they're pretty good. And yeah, he's going to get the whole team going. And then if you're under Finley, it's going to be a lot of exposes, a lot of damage out there alongside Zori. And number 6, people might think I rank him low because a lot of people have him as their fastest character. But we got Admiral Piet. There's a couple assumptions that go into you wanting him to be fast. One, you're assuming he's under Veer's lead. On Lord Vader's team, not really the biggest deal if he's going first or not. And also, if you have a super fast Moff Gideon, it might not matter. However, in 3v3, he's going to be the only super fast trooper on the team. And you need his Zeta, and you want to make sure your Veers is up to snuff. But you start out with this move. You mark someone, the one you want to assist the most, usually Dark Trooper, and you're giving out buffs to the whole team. You're giving offense up to everyone. And through Veer's lead, it's giving turn meter to the whole team as well. And also, if you have his Zeta Emperor's Trap, which is a great Zeta, that's another buff. Everyone's getting this buff over their head when he takes his first turn. So you start with this, and then offense up, and that's 20% turn meter for the whole team. It makes them all considerably faster. And Imperial Troopers, they're like the OG turn meter train team. Once they get going, if you do it right, they're never gonna stop, and they're just gonna like roll the whole other team before you even get a chance. That's not happening as much in the end game for me as it used to be, because there's a lot of anti-turn meter train mechanics in the game. But having him super fast is a great idea because you want to get the team going and then never stop. My plus 150 is slower than a lot of people that I face, but I don't personally use him as much anymore. But still, he is top tier, number 6. And number 5, I had to put them together. I got Moff Gideon. I have him extremely fast, and the reason I put him above Piet is because it's useful in more situations than Piet. So number 1, on a trooper team, you kind of got the same dynamic going, but in 5v5, or like this classic Imperial Trooper team is what I'm talking about, like Veers, Piet, Dark Trooper. You can have him go first and use his ability to control the situation. Unless you're doing it on someone that can't lose turn meter, like Darth Revan team when they're debuffed. They're all going to lose all their turn meter, and you're going to get plus 25%. And then that's going to be even better than Piet starting out, because you get 25% turn meter compared to 20%. And he's also getting out first and inflicting demoralized on all enemies. This is like one of the most low-key overpowered mechanics in the game. I think it can't be resisted, and it nerfs damage so much. Minus 50% offense, 25% crit chance, critical chance, or minus 25% crit damage. That is a lot of damage reduction. So he is very plug and play in that regard, and you can just slot him anywhere, and he's going to do something pretty nice with even just nerfing their damage. controlling the situation. Ginmei team, Ginmei's useful for a lot of players. Endgame players are only putting him with Dark Trooper Moff Gideon now, but he's still really flexible. And on the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon squad, he is by far the most valuable second member of the team. I mean, Scout Troopers up there too. But in 3v3, the best defensive team is having Moff Gideon as well. Super fast. I mean, he can daze everybody. The control the situation still a thing. On defense, he's a little stupid. He uses Darksaber Lunge instead of control the situation first. But if you're using them on offense, not many people are. It's super useful too. And plus, he's, I mean, Piet as well. They're both great in the current speeder bike parade. But yeah, I just think Moff Gideon's a little bit more flexible. He has a higher base speed as well, so it's easier to get him faster. It's 198 base speed at gear 13. So Moff Gideon is pretty sick. So he is top 5. And at number 4, I'm happy to present Darth Revan. I'm a little bit of a Revan fanboy. I love KOTOR. But he's a little bit different than most of the other characters we've covered so far in that he's not getting a turn meter train going. He is just debilitating the other team, just crippling them. So he is really fast to begin with. He's got, not as fast as it seems anymore, but I have plus 180 speeds up to 354. So he's not as fast as like a Moff Gideon or something. 350 speed is going to outrun most teams out there that aren't GLs. Of course, the bar is going higher all the time, but you get out there first and you do Insanity. This is most of the time going to be your best move. If you can get to the leader and you do this, the whole enemy team is going to miss their turn. Even if your whole team was super slow, you do this, it's kind of good in some cases because it's like they all miss their turn and then you get to go with your whole team. Then Revan comes back around again. But yeah, it's just... A lot of times, if like it used to be so like fear is a great mechanic for them because I used to be so afraid of going against a Darth Revan before like there was like the cheap Imperial Trooper counters and Darth Vader because it's like if he just goes, if he takes a turn, it's like you're not doing anything. Like you get feared and then Bastila fears people and it's like it's all over the place. You just never get to do anything and they hit so hard. And also like once he starts getting debuffs on his team. You get 15 speed for each of your own debuffs. So even if you started out with this and give 5 stacks of ferocity, that is plus 75 speed. So this guy is really insane. I mean, he's not like the go-to leader as much anymore, but I like to think of a video like this as more helpful to players that don't have as many mods to go around and probably don't have conquest characters like Malgus, and that's why there are no conquest units on this list as well. We had Darth Revan, an absolute boss, number 4. Number 3, we have Captain Rex, and he actually has a pretty good argument for number 1. The reason I knocked him down a couple is just because of all the extra speed you get from his unique. You get 25 normally, then if you have the Omicron, you're in Grand Arenas, you get another 25, so that's plus 50. Like mine, I have plus 169 speed on him, 342. Effectively, he's 392 as soon as he steps in the battle. And if you're getting debuff, you get turn meter as well. But he is very much a turn meter. He turned the Phoenix into a turn meter train team. When they get debuffed, they're going to gain turn meter. So that's one thing that gets them going. And then just this AoE is such a strong thing. Inflicts tenacity down, daze, and it gives you offense up. So the daze is preventing enemies from getting turn meter. And then for each debuff inflicted by the ability, Phoenix allies gain 5% turn meter. It's insane because there's 2 possible debuffs, and then in 5v5 there's 5 possible targets, so that is 10. So that's up to 50% turn meter, and then there's a lot of other turn meter mechanics, surprising amount on the Phoenix team as well. So he's gonna just get things going, really cripple the enemy team, boost you up, get you going, get going fast. He's super flexible in 3v3. He's rocking with the clones as well, and it's a pain even for people on the high end of Kyber 1s. He causes trouble for me. He just cycles through his turns. Like a lot of characters, like you're mainly caring about the first turn, but with him, it's actually kind of more than that. Like every turn with him is strong. I mean, if you're doing any specials, all the Phoenix characters are assisting. If you're with clones, you're getting an armor shred out there, and he just does good damage. So he's just super solid all around. Like he is Uh, people argue that you might want Sabine faster than him. I disagree because you want the tenacity down and you want to get the turn meter to the whole team too. So like Captain Rex, yeah, just a monster, and he is number 3 overall. And number 2, we got Bad Batch Echo. And I think Rex is a better character than him, but I think Echo's team, the Bad Batch, lives or dies by his speed. So you really want him to go first. He gets the whole team going, dispels all buffs. I mean, it's similar to Rex in a way, like except he dispels too, and then irresistible days, so they cannot resist it. It's not even tenacity down; it's just can't resist it. And then you're all getting 5% turn meter for each buff dispelled. So if they all start with 1 buff on the other side, you're getting 25% turn meter. And then the team gets going. You might have Wrecker go and give out defense up, and then you swap a turn with Hunter, and you're doing tons of true damage while you have defense up. Without that, like, they can kind of get rolled. If he doesn't go first and he gets like stunned or something, there's not a lot of like resilient mechanics. Like with Rex, if they're getting debuff, you're getting turn meter that way too. So like if he's a little bit slower than your fastest, like it's not gonna make or break Phoenix. Like Phoenix is actually very easily autoable, and it's pretty forgiving. But Bad Batch, I think you'll really want to go first. And then even beyond just going first, like him cycling through his turns, the Dispel is really important, and then the Call to Assist with the buff immunity, expose, that helps control turn meter on the other side. Like under Hunter's lead, you remove turn meter when attacking exposed enemies. So yeah, he's more of a make or break for his team, and also you can use him. There were combos that we used to use in TW. I don't know how popular they are anymore, but like JMK with Echo against Jabba, because you remove all the buffs, and then you can actually get at Boosh and win with JMK. So, but he's super valuable character, and he's actually I mean, he's good in Conquest. He's good in a variety of things. I think there might be a little bit more plug and play viability to him that I'm not thinking of otherwise. But the point of this list is, who do you want to be the fastest? And Echo is definitely up there. And now the moment of truth. My number 1 pick is Mara Jade. Is she my fastest character on my roster? I don't think so. I think Moff Gideon is, but I do have plus 166 on her for 358, so she is very much up there. The reason I have her number 1, and people with the Territorial War Omicron, they will say, I mean, you don't need her to be as fast because she starts with 100% turn meter. That is true, but I don't have it. So to me, and especially as a Grand Arena aficionado, she is the top. And there's a couple reasons for that. Like a lot of the characters I've covered either get you going or cripple the other team. She does both. So assuming she's under Emperor Palpatine, which she is designed for, you don't need this data, by the way. I don't think it's good. You start out with this first special, tenacity down on everyone, because of Palp lead, unless there's anti-turn meter game mechanics out there like JMK or Hux or something. You're going to get another turn, and you're going to throw this out and inflict stagger on everyone. And through Palpatine, you are going to hit those staggers, and they're going to pop, and they're going to generate turn meter for you. They're going to remove all the turn meter on the enemy team. So that is both controlling both sides of the equation, getting you going and just keeping them stopped, or like actually stopping them in their tracks and reducing it, because this not only inflicts stagger, it also does shock, so they can't gain turn meter. She also has daze on her basic, so and she can just cycle through a bunch of turns. So she just controls the situation extremely well. Under Starkiller team, also another argument, which you could say she shouldn't be this high, and you might be right. Starkiller gives a lot of extra speed too. She's most often put with Starkiller, so she's going to be faster than any non-GL anyway in most cases. But she still gets the team going, and you want her fast. And potency as well is great too. So yeah, that's my pick. Take it or leave it, but all of the characters on this list are fantastic for speed. They will not let you down if you pick them. But that is it for my list. And just for fun at the end here, I wanted to sort my roster by speed, similar to what I do in roster reviews. I do have Moff Gideon the fastest. He has a high base speed. Cat's up there too. But the reason Cat's not on this list is she's not a make or break going the fastest. Like, she works just great if she is slower, like which would be like 300 speed. Just I have her, can use her in different ways, but like you don't have to have her. It's not the only way to go. Then other characters that are outliers up top, Admiral Radis. I don't know. I just sliced a bunch of good fast mods on him. I like him tanky, and I just kind of left it there. But I don't have a compelling argument that you should make him one of the fastest characters on your roster. I have Maul up there. That's kind of a preference thing. He's also hard to obtain for a newer player. Same with Boosh. She just goes under Jabba, and she's going second fiddle. Like, anyone that's like second fiddle to a GL most of the time is also like kind of not being considered. And that describes Cat, Maul, Boosh. Zori, like, I thought I do have her faster than Finn. So I probably should analyze that. And I actually run my Revan a little slower than I used to, just because I want to go slower than opponents' Commander Ahsoka Tano's when I'm doing a JML versus JMK match. So just a little insight on my own speed mods. I just thought it'd be fun to take a quick look there. But anyway, I hope you learned something. Hope this helps you prioritize. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd appreciate hearing from you. So yeah, thanks. See you later.